JSN is that first domino when you start to talk about that next layer of young wide receivers that we've seen showcase their talent. You think about Puka Nacua the last couple of years, obviously some injuries this year, but the year before that, we were saying he was in the top 5, top 3 era. Could he be the next one, maybe getting a massive deal?
So he could be. And it's interesting because obviously Puka is certainly primed to get a major contract extension this offseason. And one would think that he would be right there at that $42 million per year mark. I have to imagine his agents want to get above what JSN just got. So let's call it 42 and a half or 43 when you consider everything that he does for the LA Rams, how he helps their offense both in the run game and the pass game. There's no question that Puka Nacua would be worth it. Yes, there are some injury issues, but the fact is he's involved in just about every play, run or pass. Another name to keep on the lookout for, and I don't think he's going to be at $42 or $43 million per year, but of course, George Pickens, who was franchise tagged by the Dallas Cowboys. Now that number continues to go up, right? If the top of the market was at that 40 or so million, now it goes up to 42. So what does George Pickens want, and how does that impact him? We know, of course, he is playing under the franchise tag for the Dallas Cowboys in 2026, unless, of course, there's a tag and trade situation that seems incredibly unlikely. But will he get 35 or 36 if they can reach a contract extension this offseason ahead of the July 15th deadline? We'll see. So those are the top 2 names, Puka Nacua and George Pickens after this one.
I want to take a look at the AAV in terms of those numbers of what we just mentioned, those 2 receivers, George Pickens and Puka Nacua. Where do they kind of peg for you when you look at the top 5? Obviously, DK Metcalf being the low end at 33 and Jackson Smith-Njigba at 42.
Yeah, so I would probably say, if I had to put, if I'm looking at my crystal ball here, that Puka will replace Jackson Smith-Njigba at the top at some point before they start playing games in September. And then I would say that George Pickens is going to be somewhere around Justin Jefferson and CeeDee Lamb, right? You get a little interesting when it's the Dallas Cowboys and they have CeeDee Lamb, who's homegrown, right? And they paid him, and then George Pickens comes over and has a great year. Do you pay George Pickens more than CeeDee Lamb? So that's where the difficulty, that's where the rub may be for the Dallas Cowboys with this player. Just had an incredible first year with you, but had a lot of question marks before that back when he was with Pittsburgh. And so there's going to be some hedging probably involved there. That's going to be a tougher number. But for the Rams and Puka Nacua, probably much easier for them to hammer out a deal now that JSN has gotten done.
Well, Jerry Jones is all in, JJ.